Hi. So right now I'm going to talk to you guys about how we can take a word equation like this and write it as a chemical or formula equation. So there's a lot of different things to keep in mind when you do these. So let me show you. So the first, when I'm reading this, I can definitely focus in on the chemicals. So I have aluminum reacts with, and then I have aqueous hydrochloric acid to form aluminum chloride that's dissolved in water and hydrogen gas. So those are my chemicals. And then I want to start, writing this out. So aluminum and all of our metals are just single. They're not diatomic, and it's a metal. So all metals except for mercury are solid. So they don't say solid, but we know it is. And then we have aqueous hydrochloric acid. So if you remember the acid naming, we're reversing that. So we know it's got a hydrogen in it, no oxygen. So that means it's going to be with chloride. They're both equal in charge. So it'll just be HCl. And then it's aqueous, which we put an AQ. And then we're going to form aluminum chloride. And again, my thinking is, oh yeah, I know aluminum's +3, chloride's minus, so I'm going to do crisscross. So it'd be AlCl3. This is also dissolved in water, so it would be aqueous. And then hydrogen gas. And if you remember, hydrogen is one of the, I call them Brinkelhoffs. They're the ones that are going to be diatomic. Remember that on the periodic table, it kind of forms a 7. But then you also have hydrogen over here. So that is how you write it as a formula. And then when you're doing these, you'll also want to balance. So balancing, I'm just going to do this one a little quicker. I have 1 aluminum, 1 hydrogen, 1 chloride, 1 aluminum, 3 chlorides, and 2 hydrogens. So I'm going to start with, you can hear my dog. I'm going to start with, let's see, I could start with the chlorine. I'm probably going to need to use my eraser, but that's okay. So I would put a 3 here. So I now have 3 chlorides and 3 hydrogens. So you can see 3 hydrogens and 2 hydrogens, we're going to have to want to go for a number they both go into, which is 6. So if I want to have 6 here, I'm going to put a 3. And like I said, I could tell I was going to have to use my eraser, but that's okay. So now I'm going to need to have 6 of them. So I would have to put a 6 here. Now, by having that 6 there, I also have 6 of the chlorides. So at this point, you can see that my hydrogens are balanced, but now I need to deal with the chlorine or the chloride. So there's 3 and 6, both go into 6. So if we want to have 6 over here, we're going to have to put a 2 here. When I put the 2 there, 2 times 3 is 6. I also have 2 aluminums. So then I would want to come over here, fix my aluminum. So that is writing a formula equation from a word equation and balancing. Let's do another. So here we have, this one doesn't have the states, so we're not going to worry about aqueous and all that, but we have copper Roman numeral 2, so that means it's +2 nitrate. So I'm going to do crisscross. So that's just my thinking. Here's my answer. So I'm going to want to put a 2 around the nitrate and then sodium hydroxide. So again, here's my thinking. I know sodium is plus, hydroxide's minus, so they're just going to be in a 1-to-1 ratio. And then they form, which means that's where I'm going to put my yield. Copper 2 hydroxide. Again, copper is +2, hydroxide's minus. Bring down the 2, bring down the 1. So it's going to look like this. Don't forget those parentheses. And then lastly, sodium nitrate. Sodium is plus, nitrate's minus. So NaNO3. Now I'm going to balance. And you can see we have, maybe I should highlight for you. we have our nitrates. We want to keep those together when we're balancing. We have our hydroxides. We have sodium. And we have copper. So when I do this, I can really start anywhere. I'm going to start with the nitrate. There's 2 of them here. So I want to have 2 over here. And the only way to get 2 is to put a 2 here. Now I have also 2 sodiums. So I can go back, maybe fix my sodium. I have 2, I want 2 over here. So I have to put a 2 in front. Now I have 2 sodiums and 2 hydroxides by putting that 2 there. I have 1 copper, 1 copper. Here I have 2 hydroxides, 2 hydroxides, 2 sodiums, 2 nitrates. I'm done. Now I'd like you guys to look at your packet. Let's do at least one together here. This is in your packet, page 18. So here is, just practicing. So in this first question, we have solid calcium. Let's see if my pen, So anyways, my calcium is solid. And then it reacts in liquid water. So that means we're going to have reacts, it should be with liquid water. To produce aqueous calcium hydroxide. So here I'm thinking, okay, plus 2 hydroxides minus, crisscross. So don't forget the parenthesis. And it's aqueous, so I'll put an AQ. And then hydrogen gas. So remember that one's diatomic. And then I can balance it. I think I'm going to write this water as HOH. So then I can balance this OH with this OH. And I'm going to balance this hydrogen with that hydrogen. So you can start at either one. You can see that I have 2 OHs here. I want to have 2 here, so I'd have to put a 2 in front. So now I have 2 OHs and I have 2 hydrogens. Over here I have 2 hydrogens and I have 1 calcium, so I'm balanced.